Sup YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out the results of the LAIC, the Latin America International Championships, actually concluded with Miloslav actually winning with Regidrago VSTAR. So tons of Regidrago VSTAR hype today, and we're going to be checking out all the lists, we're going to be checking out the conversion rate and all that good stuff. So hopefully you guys are excited. If you are, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It only requires 1 tiny second of your time and helps out the channel tremendously. It is super effective. And if you also are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You're going to get daily Pokemon TCG videos over here. Okay, with that being said, we're going to be focusing on everything in this video. So let's just check out the statistics here and take a look at the conversion rate. So this is what we come to dealing with here with the day one conversion. So let's just zoom in a little bit so you guys can check along with me. So this is what was being played mostly at LAIC. It was with 1,810 players, so a bunch of players. The biggest LAIC we've ever seen. So we have, of course, not the biggest IC, but the biggest LAIC for that specific region. We have 15% Raging Bolt. Why is everybody still playing Raging Bolt? I don't know. It's an easy to play deck and it gets results. And here we have, of course, 50% Raging Bolt being the most played deck. Then Lugia, of course. I'm a big fan of Lugia, as you guys already know. I have over 500 CP with that deck alone, so a little bit biased here, but Lugia, still very great, second most popular deck. And then Terapagos, believe it or not, 9%. Then followed up by Regidrago VSTAR. Charizard also back on the map on the list of the top 6 best most played decks. And it also converted really well. So actually there was a lot of high placements of Charizard. And then Palkia with Dusknoir also in that day one most popular chart. Then we're going to be going all the way into day 2. What happened in day 2? With the conversions, we see here is that Terapagos was the big winner of everything, converting really well from that 9% all the way to 14% in day 2. Regidrago VSTAR also got a huge buff with 5 additional percent being played in the day 2. Raging Bolt flopped a little bit. It's still okay. It only dropped like 3%, which is okay. Lugia also still around that 10%, 9 to 10%, which is fine. Charizard also stuck around, and Palkia really flopped. So it was not a great time to be playing Palkia, it seemed. Palkia dropped completely from the day 2 charts for the most popular decks out there. And then Gardevoir snuck its way into that 6th most popular deck in day 2. Alright, let's take a look at some deck lists, shall we? Because I'm very curious. This is new for me as well, so we're going to be diving into the results together, which is awesome. So, Miloslav Poledny from the Czech Republic. I already played against him. Very, very skillful player. Finally getting the dub here with Regidrago VSTAR. Okay, what is cool about this list is the Haxorus. I am a big fan of Haxorus. Not only do you can you slap that 230 flat damage, the only downside is you discard 3 cards from the top of your deck, which is not bad, as you still come back with Legacy Star to regain stuff, as well as Superior Energy Retrieval. This was actually missing from a lot of these Regidrago VSTAR lists, and there was always the debate like, do you want to go first or second with Regidrago VSTAR? And I'm still a big believer of going first. Like, a lot of people opted to go second in the mirror match, which I found really ridiculous, because going first is probably giving you the edge. If you can get the first turn attack off, you probably win game. So let me know in the comment section how you feel about going first or second in a mirror match, because it's still it's crazy to think about. People have different opinions, of course. So Haxorus being included in the list, as well as Hisuian Gudra VSTAR. So this list has more attackers. You have Kyurem, you have Giratina, 2 Dragapults, Hisuian Gudra, and Haxorus. The cool thing is that you can easily get rid of your attackers, not only with Earth and Vessel and Ultra Ball and Research, but also with their Superior Energy Retrieval. No Super Rod in here, instead Superior Energy Retrieval. It's very similar to the list I actually was going to be playing at the World Championships, which I didn't, but I also came back with that Haxorus, because slapping 230 is great, but also if the opponent has a special energy, you can just flip your finger and boom, it is one-shot instantly, and that helps really out against Terapagos, but also against Lugia decks that are not careful and not equipping their missed energy in time, because they are not expecting the Haxorus. So you see where we can go with this, because sometimes Lugia players just go, I'm going to be putting a Gift Energy, I'll be putting the V-Guard Energy. They are protected against Giratina VSTAR. So far it's true, but they sometimes forget the Mist Energy, and that's where the Haxorus can sneak in out of nowhere. So the surprise element got them the dub overall. Then second place, Brent Tennyson. Actually, a fun fact about Brent Tennyson, he actually has the $100,000 cap that he actually now has with that 15 additional K with LAIC second place. So big congratulations, Brent Tennyson. I also played against him before. A very awesome fellow to be playing against. Let's see here, the Regidrago. What is it with this Regidrago? They opted to go for the 1-1 line of the Noctowl with the Jewel Seeker, fetching out 2 trainer cards instantly, which is very nice. That can get your combos going with like Prime Catch Cologne shenanigans. Very great when you're playing Kyurem, that's for sure. You have a split line between stadiums, Jamming Tower and Temple of Sinnoh, the most played stadiums in the list. And this list is actually cutting down Wonder and Vessel. And to just make room for that Noctowl shenanigans. Also playing Super Odds instead of Superior Energy Retrievals. And a list like this has been played to success by a bazillion amount of players, from John Ang, Rune, to everyone, James Cox. They have all been piloting this 60, so this is, for most people, the preferred 60. But I'm a big fan of Miloslav's 60 because I'm a big fan of Haxorus. Then Ilya Kornilov from Finland with Gholdengo. The Gholdengo here, the cheese stick itself. Gholdengo got a result here. It is going to be a unique list with Spiritomb thrown in there. Of course, the 119 Palkia VSTAR is a little bit mainstay in the deck, and it also comes back with Morty's Conviction. In a format where everyone's playing Area 0 under that, Morty's Conviction is actually super great. You can actually discard 2 cards from hand and then draw cards for every one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's a lot of bench Pokemon. If you know what Morty does, here you have it. So each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, let's say you're up against Terapagos with 8 bench Pokemon, draw 8. I know. It's nuts. Drawing 8 cards with Gholdengo. I even have coin bonus and Radiant Greninja to top off, as well as flip the script. You pretty much draw your entire deck, and then boom, you just win games. Very nice with the Cypher Maniac to put 2 cards on top of the deck. There is no canceling Cologne in this list, which I'm a big fan of. As always, like if you have Greninja, you might as well put in the Cologne, right? So that's where we're at currently. So we have Gholdengo here. I'm very glad to see a result like this, and a result that is not Jelle van Kampen. So there is still a battle of who is the best Gholdengo player out there. The challenge continues. As well, Gholdengo gets better with the Surging Sparks set. Daniel Magda from the Czech Republic. So Czech Republic, I don't know how many players were there from Czech Republic. Let's just take that out. You can go to pokerank.com, actually pokerank.gg, and with that you can actually see how many players were from a specific region. So let's go to LAIC here, go to the TCG standings, and let's check out the Czech Republic. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, and 2 of them in top 4. That is the craziest conversion rate I have ever seen. So yeah, big congratulations to, of course, Daniel Magda. So let's check out the Regidrago list that they were rocking with. It is the same 60 as Miloslav, so the testing group right there. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the exact 60. So what are the odds people playing the exact 60? I think they shared list between each other, so nothing to say here. List has been talked about before. Jackson Ford from Canada with Charizard Pidgeot. Charizard Pidgeot here. It is going to be a list playing Collapse Stadium and Temple of Sinnoh, as well as Secret Box. They called it Secret Box Charizard. So with that, you can search out your deck for a tool card, a stadium, an item, and a supporter. So with all of that combined, the Secret Box not only can get your one-off supporters like Thornton and Briar, it can also, with Arvin, you can fetch Secret Box, which means Arvin can now fetch something like the stadium cards, which can be really useful. Definitely Collapse Stadium to get rid of a liability like Rotom or Temple of Sinnoh when you're, of course, able to do a lot of stuff. And even Jamming Tower, so 3 stadiums in there. For all the correct situations, you can, of course, use that Secret Box at your disposal. So Charizard, with still a very thick line, a 2-1-1 line of the Dusknoir in the Zard list. Then Rosé Gregson from the UK with Gardevoir. Okay, let's see here. What is this Gardevoir all about? It's a list that Henry Chow also piloted, as well as Stefan Ivanov before. So it is a known 60. We, of course, see the Klefki, the Spiritomb, both of them in the 60, helping out perfectly. There's the Secret Box, the Moonlit Hill. People have switched that to a Temple of Sinnoh to deal with Lugia. I could understand, but is it necessary? I don't know. Maybe you have a fine matchup against Lugia regardless, but a turn 2 Ampy very much is always super scary to deal with, although you can slap them down with the Spiritomb, I suppose. So yeah, solid, consistent Guardy, and it has still the Radiant Greninja in there, so up against Snorlax block, that can be pretty tricky if it's stuck, with not a lot of Snorlax block hype in this tournament at least. Austin Elias, Elias? I don't know. From Canada with Terapagos Dustour. This is the highest performing Terapagos list, and it is going to be a list focused on a 2/0/2 line of Dusknoir, even coming packed with a surprise Manaphy. This Manaphy will help out your weak HP Hoot from getting sniped away with a Kieran turn 2. That could definitely be a winning condition. You don't always need it, but it is packed into the 60. What else do we see is a Torton. Torton can get a Duskull out of nowhere, so you can surprise the opponent with a Duster when they least expect it. Or it can also allow you to transform one of your liabilities. For example, a 2-prizer, like if you started with like a Blood Moon, you can turn that into something else if need be. Yeah, Energy Lotto, something I really like here, because if you whiff DTE, you whiff the attack, and whiffing the attack is very bad. Big fan of the Feather Ball in the 60. Feather Ball with Rare Candy means if you evolve into Noctowl, you can get your Pidgeot out quite quickly. And there's also a Lost Vacuum in here. I don't know against which matchup. Probably going to be up against something like, for example, Raging Bull, where you can knock off those Bravery Charms, or just to pump another Stadium, which is also searchable through the means of the Noctowl. Okay, Raz Welpe from Israel with, of course, Regidrago. Regidrago was literally everywhere. Also a unique 60, we see here it is going to be a mix of Super Rod, and on top of that, even the Superior Energy Retrieval. They cut down the Fire Energy for that Superior Energy Retrieval, and the list is super nice. I think they've also played that at the World Championship. If we see here, Ford plays at the World Championship, so they collected $27,000 in total with Regidrago VSTAR, so big congratulations. Also played against Raz as well, and my win rate against Raz is actually super crazy. I actually won against him twice already, so even at Worlds 2022 when I was playing Mewtwo v Union Control, I was able to beat him, but it's a very skillful player indeed. Then Julius Brunfeld from Finland as well with Regidrago. We see here it is the same 60 as the one from Alberto Conti that actually was able to win the Gdansk regional. So yeah, the 60s are a little bit known. Sometimes people flip-flop between specific attackers. Sometimes you add in like a Hisuian Goodra. Sometimes the Hexerus gets thrown into the list. Sometimes you play the 1/1 line of Noctowl. But inherently the 55 cards of a deck like this are locked and loaded. Okay, we have Rafael from Brazil with Charizard Noctowl. Yeah, you heard me wrong. Very unique. This means this actually comes back with a 4/4 line, actually a 4/3 line of Noctowl. How good is that? Well, if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can get any card you want. So instead of relying on a very thick Pidgeot line, this actually made room for a lot of one-offs, if you can see that here, because you can fetch them out with Jewel Seeker. Very, very unique list, and you also come back with Area 0 under that to go wide on your board. You can sometimes attack with Terapagos as well, so this is the most unique build I've seen all day. Not that many energies in the list, so a little bit tricky for sure, but yeah, sometimes all you need is setup. If you have setup, who cares about the energies, as you can of course attack with Terapagos quite quickly because of that DTE, and you also have the Colress's Tenacity, which can surge that out, which is searchable through means of the Jewel Seeker. You have Fan Rotom for setup, so it's a hybrid. You have Terapagos, you have Charizard, you boom, blend them together. That's what you get right here. So super props to them. Leonardo Wellbridge from Brazil as well with Iron Thorns. Okay, Iron Thorns. I'm not gonna lie. I was up against an Iron Thorns at my cup recently. And it feels really bad to be up against a deck like this because you cannot use any of your abilities. So that's pretty much the deck. It also won the World Championships. Is a little bit different than the World Championships list. Coming back with triple Cologne and double Lost City. Triple Cologne, that's for the Mimikyus, alright. So if you can knock them out, put them in the Lost Zone left and right, you're going to be winning games. Cologne is a very universal way to shut down the opponent's annoying abilities or walling abilities. So there is that. Interesting for sure. Can also, yeah, do some miracles against like a Cornerstone. Could also be working out, I suppose. So triple Cologne, crazy enough. Moving forward, we have Rune Hermans from Belgium, of course, represented. Regidrago here again. Also a little bit of a hybrid. They've included the Hisuian Goodra. And all the rest of the stuff seems a little bit the same. They also have one Superior Energy Retrieval and double up on the Super Rod. So I don't know which other cards they made room for, but yeah, this is another 60 that is Regidrago's V-Stars and putting it to some extra success. Then Damien Gabriel Riquel from Argentina put Cloth on the map, getting a top 16 placement with Cloth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to be playing a super unique rogue deck, then this is the time to be alive, because now you can actually Donk people before they're able to draw a card with a Patron promo card. You can knock out people from the very first turn going second with Cloth because you hit weakness against Miraidon, Blood Moon, Phasandipity, yeah, everything that is weak to fighting is just getting slaughtered by Cloth. And Cloth with Binding Mochi and Radiant Hisuian Sneasler and the Brute Bonnet Toxic Powder combo can always get yourself the numbers against bigger HP Pokemon like a Raging Bolt, for example. You can also come back with the Hisuian Electrode V in combination with Super Effective Glasses in combination with Brute Bonnet and Hisuian Radiant Sneasler. Can even knock yourself out a Charizard EX with full HP. So very unique deck for sure. And this is something I still need to check out on the channel again because I checked it out before, but it seems better right now with this secret box build. Okay, now we have Andres Lostona from Peru, and it seems like they are, if I take a look at Roaring Moon, the best Roaring Moon player right now currently. Yeah, that's what I see here. The best Roaring Moon player in the world currently. The race is still on, the card is still legal. So Roaring Moon, we see here a top 16 placement. Very similar to this, the list we've seen working out, getting second at the World Championships. A lot of 4-offs for Ultra Ball, for Nuzball, for Dark Patch, for Trekking Shoe, for Art and Vessel, all that good stuff. And what else do we see here is that it comes packed with the promo Petron. The cool thing with this Petron is that if you Dark Patch and attach, you can poison the opponent with 10 damage, and you can also then knock them out. And the cool thing with that strategy is that Phasandipity doesn't activate because they get knocked out going into your turn. So that was the main way this little promo Petron was being played, and you can also trap opponents with that Poison Chain. And other than that, it is a consistent Roaring Moon list. Also Iron Bundle, love that card in the 60. Carlos Sevulveda from Chile with Charizard Pidgeot. Yeah, a very strong, consistent list. Playing the Unfair Stamp Ace-Pack card, so no secret box in this one. And playing only one stadium is the Jamming Tower. I think this is one of the more consistent builds with a 2-0-2 line of Pidgeot, with a 2-1-1 line of Dusknoir, and actually a 4-1-2 line of Charizard. Yeah, so more baby Charmanders is something I really prefer because sometimes people are cutting that for an additional stadium left and right, but I'm not too keen on that. And then the last from the top 16 is going to be Victor Lugon from Brazil with Charizard Pidgeot as well. And this is only playing 3 Charmanders, so that's what we see here. They actually don't play Jamming Tower, instead it's a collapsed stadium, and they made room for something like a Lost Vacuum. Is Lost Vacuum great? Sometimes. Also only 5 energies in this 60. Any other unique decks we're going to take a look at? Yeah, at the moment, these are all decks we've already seen before, I suppose. Like, very surprisingly, that Lugia was only the 30th place, so that's very peculiar indeed. And let's see here, the Raging Bolts of the world, also only 29. So Raging Bolt and Lugia did not do well in this tournament, even though they hang on to their meta percentages during the conversion rate of day 2. Their top 32 conversion is very poor, to say the least. What else can we take a look at? There were more people playing Cloth, by the way. Also, I think the big change, like Terapagos was also around in that top 32. Nothing to say right there. 1 Gouging Fire, that's fine, I suppose. And then the first Palkia is actually 44th. So if we take a look at the decks that did not perform, and again, Snorlax Block here, 42nd. So actually 43rd here. So what can we conclude? Palkia and Snorlax did really poorly, and then followed up by Lugia and a Raging Bolt. So we can conclude from that statistics here, if we take that into account, here is that the big losers from this tournament actually is Raging Bolt, Archeops, and Palkia, as well as Snorlax Block. These are like the big losers from this tournament, I suppose. Gholdengo is a surprise one with a top 4 placement, which I always find very crazy. Bonnet also didn't do too well. There was a lot of people now grabbing towards the Ogerpon Mimikyu deck that Alessandro Cremascoli put on the map. Let's just take a look at his list, a little homage, because I'm a big fan of iCaterpie, you know it. So yeah, a little bit of a control-ish archetype. You can have, of course, Mimikyu to wall off. Cornerstone Ogerpon, even the Wildspring Ogerpon with the Sparkling Crystal and DTE can make quick work of the Chinchinos, and then you win the game with Cornerstone. So even Diancie to put in some work here. So that's up against Lugia. All the rest seems like pretty okay. I don't think there's any like Miraidon did really badly. Like only 69 is the best performing Miraidon list. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of the run through of the LAIC, the first IC in this 2024-2025 season. I'm very excited to be playing actually in 2 weeks time in the Stuttgart regionals with Surging Sparks. What is Surging Sparks gonna do? This was the last tournament in, of course, the Stellar Crown format. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the results of the LAIC, or maybe the last couple of regionals in the Stellar Crown format. Did you expect Regidrago to just dominate the Stellar Crown format? It was really great at the World Championships, and it only stuck on from there on out. So yeah, I'm very curious to hear your opinion down below. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in ridiculous ways. You have no idea. Subscribe for more content, and be sure to check out the sponsors that make the videos possible. You of course can get some percentage off. There is DragonShield.com, 5% off on sleeves, banners, and deck boxes. Go use the coupon ZABLOOS5 right now. TC Evolutions for your damage counters, ability tokens, VSTAR tokens. Get them right now for 10% off using the coupon ZABLOOSTCG. PokemonStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs, 5% off. They have Surging Sparks, they have, of course, Stellar Crown, they have Shroud of Fable. Promo codes, 5% off on everything, and CARDMARKET.com for European players where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Definitely check it out. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG content. It is going to be Surging Sparks from here on out. Peace.